And I think it's a good thing to really know how to take care of our eyes. This session, I'd like to share with you two things. One is how to get new people started, because one of the lifeblood of our business is new blood. That means every month we get new people into our business. And when we get new people into our business, what do we do? What do we tell them to do? How do we guide them so that they start the business in a correct footing? Then the next part of the training, I'm going to discuss with you about sharpening the saw. That means how do we take time to become better distributors, better leaders, to make sure that our business is actually growing. So without further ado, let me just share the screen with you. The first thing about getting started is this. We all need to know what the neo-life culture is. One of the most important things that gives you an idea of the strength of organization or a country or a family is culture. What is the culture that we have in neo-life that ensures that we actually have a long-term view of our business? The corporate culture we have in neo-life is very simple. The 5 essential things we believe, and this we talk about in every presentation. Why is it important? So that everybody who joins the business knows what the corporate culture of neo-life is. What is the basic things we believe to be important in our business? 1 is absolute integrity. 2, people are number 1. 3, products that work. 4, long-range vision. And 5, equal opportunity for everybody. This is the corporate culture. These are the principles that govern our behavior when we're building our business. But you see, these 5 principles have to be undergirded with personal attributes so that we can become or we can express ourselves in these 5 principles. The first is unselfishness. That simply means if you want to succeed in this business, you have to be generous. It's simple. Number 2, stewardship and gratitude. Stewardship simply means you're holding something of value for the sake of people who are going to join our business. So when you're speaking to people about our business, prospects, remember that you're holding something very dear, something very precious that can actually change people's lives. 3 is humility. Humility is a very unique word. It's a very the word humility comes from the Latin root humus, which means soil. It simply means to accept yourself the way you are, not better than others, not worse than others. And humility is very important as you grow in your business. Number 4 is strong work ethic. That is, do you actually put effort to build your business? A strong work ethic simply means that you do what you need to do to grow your business. And then positive attitude. A positive attitude, you develop it by the people you spend time with, by the books you read, by the training sessions you attend, by the events that you attend to grow your business. And then we need to have the work-life balance. It simply means when it's time to do business, do business. When it's time to relax or rest, rest. When it's time to spend time with your family, spend time with your family. That is simply what the life-work balance is. Now, the next thing you need to teach new people in your business are the business terms. I'm sure most of you who are attending this training know this. But when people join the business, they don't know these terms. So take time to explain to them what these business terms mean. PV, point value, a measure of business, and is also used for determining what bonus level you reach. BV is business volume, the amount that is used to calculate bonuses. SRP, suggested retail price. So these business terms, distributors need to know. I mean, new distributors in the business need to know. Then how to order products, how to fill the application forms, how to fill in the order forms. Month end, for example, the month end is this coming Monday. Month end simply means the day the company stops doing business, you check how the performance has been in different groups or teams so that the company can calculate the bonuses for each distributor. And then steps. What is the manager? What is the distributor, senior manager, executive manager, a director, emerald, world team member, PT, or president's team member? These terms new distributors need to know what they mean. For us who are in the business, we know this like the back of our hands, but new people don't know these things. So teach new people these things. And then you need to tell our new distributors what are the 3 essential things that help us to become successful. What are the 3 qualities you need to develop to become successful in our business? 1, having a burning desire. Desire is actually gives us the drive to build our business. This nobody can do for you as a distributor. It has to come from your heart. It has to come from your mind. It has to come from your being. A desire simply means the wanting of something that you don't have. That is what desire is. And if you have a strong desire, you're going to develop the qualities required for success. Second thing, you need to be coachable. That means teachability. Everybody who joins this business joins with little or no experience. Maybe some people join the business a second time or a third time, but because things change, because they need to relearn new things, maybe I can share an experience about what repetition means. Becky and I went to Kenya for about a month. When you're in South Africa, if you want to check how much airtime you have, you dial *111#. When we went to Nairobi, if I want to find out how much airtime and data I have, I dial *5544#, then I get. So after staying in Kenya for all this, so when I came back, I couldn't remember what you need to dial to get your balance in South Africa. So I asked Betty, what do you dial to get your balance back? It just shows you that you always remember the things you keep repeating all the time. If you do something different, you're only going to remember something that you've been doing all the time. So teachability is a very important part, and learning comes from repetition. Number 3, willingness to work hard. It simply means you need to concentrate your effort on income-producing activities. Sitting down and scrolling on social media, sitting down and writing a name list is not income-producing activities. Income-producing activities is picking up the phone and calling a prospect, calling a customer, going to see a customer, going to see a prospect. Those are income-producing activities. Presenting the business to new people, doing a one-on-one, doing a follow-up. Those are the things that increase your income or increase your business to grow. Okay? So the 3 things which are required: a burning desire, being coachable, and hard work. Now, the steps of the getting started steps. What are the things what are the steps you need to take to get new people to get started on the right way? 1, people who join the business needs to know why they are starting the business. What is their why? What is their dream? They need to develop a dream chart. Why is that important? Because the dream chart helps them to focus on where they want to go. You can either be inspired, or because of desperation, you really want to get out of that situation. Something tangible you can actually see. For example, a goal is to earn $500 in 6 months, $1,000 in 6 months, or something like that. You have to have specific goals. And it's important to have goals in different areas of your life. Mental, that is the books you read. Physical, the exercise you undergo. Rest, reading, the books that you read. Financial goals, family goals, the time you set aside for your family. The step number 3, develop monthly, weekly, and daily action plan. That simply means we're just getting the end of August. If you haven't achieved your goals for August, you have 2 or 3 days to go before August is actually over. So we say in our business, it's not over until it's over. Then you need to have weekly goals and daily action plans. It simply means once you've set your goals for the month, bring them down to weekly goals and bring down the weekly goals into daily action plans. What are you going to do every day to make sure you achieve the goals that you've set for yourself? And then you have to have daily success habits. That is, doing the 3 things we do every day in our business: using the products, sharing the products and the business, and using the products. Select the products for personal use. There is no shortcut to this. If you don't use the product, your business won't grow. It's as simple as that. Then share the business opportunity. Set 6 to 8 appointments for your new distributor. And when you get somebody new in the business, help them to speak to their first 6 to 8 prospects on there. Why? Because you're more experienced than they are. Help them to speak to their prospects. They need to prepare a name list. Show them how to invite by asking the right question. That is, are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? To see if the prospect is interested. If they are, make an appointment to do a one-on-one or invite them for a Zoom meeting or a face-to-face meeting. Show the plan. After you've shown the plan, they need to help them to do a follow-up, and then plan and monitor your activity on a continuous basis. Those are the things you need to do to develop new people. And then be a good listener. This is especially a skill that is important when you want to sponsor people in the business. If you want to develop customers, being a good listener simply means you ask questions and listen. Encourage your prospect or your customer to speak about what's going on in their lives. Talk in terms of other people's issues. If you talk constantly about your own issues, it's very easy to tune out people. Talk in terms of other people's interests. If you find out they're interested in music, start a conversation that has to do with music. If they like sports, if they like whatever it is they're interested in, make other people important and do so sincerely. And take time to notice the good in others. This skill, or this people skill, is very important to grow a business, because remember, our business is a people's business. So the more proficient, the more skillful you are in dealing with people, the better the chances of growing your business. Okay? And then these are just success formulas. If you have a desire and you find out what is preventing you from becoming successful, you will get what you desire. And what is the resistance you have in your business? Limiting beliefs, negative internal emotions, resentment, anger, jealousy. These things affect you, they affect your business. You may think that if you have a resentment towards somebody, or a jealousy or fear, it won't affect. People can sense what is going on in your heart and mind. They don't have even to speak. They can sense it, because we are spiritual beings. People can sense what is going on in us. Okay? Then what is your belief about yourself? Do you think you are worthy of success that you're looking for? And then self-worth and acceptance. Examine your own self. Examine what you think of yourself. That is very important. What other people think of you, that you cannot control, and sometimes you don't even know what people think of you. The most important thing is, what do you think of yourself? Okay? And then, excuse me, limiting beliefs. What is a belief? Belief is something you assign to an event, whether you're capable of doing it and can repeat it habitually. How does it play out? It plays out on an ongoing basis. When you take decisions on a continuous basis, then you begin to find out what your belief is. How do you identify your beliefs? Pay attention to your thoughts and decisions when you're pursuing goals. A very simple example. You met somebody yesterday and you're interested to introduce them to the business, you take their phone number. But when you sit down to call them, you hesitate. Then you start having a conversation in your mind. Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's not interested. Maybe those are very clear indications of your limiting beliefs. Okay? It prevents you from going after what you want. How do you change it? Write the opposite of your limiting beliefs. For example, the example I've just given, you met somebody yesterday and you want to speak to them about the business. The moment you have your phone number, find time, sit down, without even thinking whether they'll say yes or no, pick up the phone and call them. By the way, my name is Pascal. We met yesterday at the bus or the taxi or the bank, and you expressed an interest in the business we do. Can I share with you some information? That is the way you develop positive beliefs, because you need to identify it first before you can change it. And then you need to repeat the same decision until it becomes a habit. Then, let me say you've got a goal to be a director in 6 months. What do you do in practical terms? 1, show the business to 2 people daily. What will prevent you when this statement comes to your mind? I can, but I can't be a director, but I can't be a world team member, but when you hear this word but, you need to pay attention to it. You could say, I want to be a director, but I don't know how to invite professionally. Go back and master it. I don't know many people. Go to your phone book. I don't have time. Create the time. I mean, all of us have 24 hours. All those bad are the things that are actually preventing you from going after your days. Making money is hard. Well, if making money is, I think that the thing is, we are the ones who make it hard by our lack of faith and our lack of taking action. I'm a poor speaker. Everybody who starts this business is a poor speaker. And by the way, when you speak for the first time in front of people, that is the worst you ever speak. So be encouraged. You are going to get better. You become better by practicing how to speak. That is the only way to become a better speaker. Now let's talk about sharpening the saw. What does sharpening the saw mean? Sharpening the saw means that you actually, I mean, it's a very simple allegory or illustration. If you want to cut a big tree, you need to sharpen the saw continuously so that the cutting becomes efficient. Somebody can have a huge axe, but if it's not sharpened, knocking down the tree will be very difficult. So sharpening the saw simply means you take time to improve yourself. The key to success are 3 things. The ask principle: attitude, skill, knowledge. Those are the 3 things you need to pay attention to. Those are the 3 things that you need to sharpen yourself. Attitude is a reason for doing something. Attitude is a way of being, is a mindset. In fact, the word mindset explains what it is. The way your mind is set towards success or failure. What is your attitude? You develop a positive and good attitude when you listen to positive material, you keep good company, you read good books, and you avoid, one of the things that you need to avoid is news, because news is always negative. Why? Because negativity sells. People are drawn towards what is negative. So build a positive attitude. Number 2, skill. Skill is learning how to do things, learning how to do the business, learn how to present, learn how to do the 4 basics, presenting the business, inviting, doing a follow-up, getting new people started, how to motivate your team. Those skill is how to do something. Knowledge is what to do. You need to have knowledge of the product, the compensation plan, policies and procedures, know thyself, know your team members. In fact, sometimes just call your team members, not even to discuss business, to find out how their life is doing. Why is that important? Because then your team members feel that they're human beings. Okay? It's important for us to get to know our team members. And then keep your eyes on the future and past success. Why is that important? Because, for example, you meet a prospects and you're hesitant to speak to them and you actually don't speak to them. Don't punish yourself. Don't feel guilty. Just say, okay, I missed that opportunity, but 2 or 3 days ago, I did a very good presentation. Keep your eyes on the future and your past success. It will help you overcome the challenges that you go through. And before I end, I want to share with you something. Yesterday, I spoke to one of our leaders from Nairobi, World Team member Mary Mengo. And she told me really an exciting story about commitment. There are 7 distributors who traveled by bus from the DRC to Nairobi to attend the Royal Summit. One of them, I think 2 or 3 of them traveled from a town 1,000 kilometers from Lubumbashi. They go to Lubumbashi, they travel from there to Dar es Salaam, from Dar es Salaam to Nairobi. One way, they covered 3,800 kilometers. After the Royal Summit over the weekend, they got into a bus. They're on their way back to DRC, another 3,800 kilometers. I am absolutely certain there are some people in Nairobi who did not attend the Royal Summit. When Mary told me that, I asked myself, what is my excuse? What is in Johannesburg, in South Africa, the company head warehouse is 60 kilometers from here. If I order products in the morning at 9 o'clock, the next day, 10 o'clock, I've got my products, the products are delivered to my doorstep. I can check my business at any time, 24/7. So if you're a distributor, wherever you are, that story needs to encourage you that there are some people with tremendous amount of challenges, but are very committed to the business. When I heard that story, it really lit a fire in my heart. And I thought that we are in the best business to make a significant change in this African continent. First, excellent products. 2, excellent compensation plan and training to help people become better human beings. So, Dr. Shomari, if you're listening to this session, we really salute you for the commitment that you've made with your team to travel from DRC by bus to Nairobi, attend the Royal Summit, and return back. That is a true testament of what commitment is in our business. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending time with Betty and myself to attend this training session, and I hope some of the things we have shared with you will help you grow your business to the next level. Thank you, good night, and God bless.